The ultimate rainy day recipe has to be this chocolate cloud cake. I mean, in fact, this is very easy altogether. It's mostly stirring with a bit of whisking, which I do mechanically. I am going to start off with this kind of dense treacle here. It's 250 grams. It's had a few minutes in a medium microwave. This is some lovely soft fat, unsalted. So I just need 125 grams of this in half the packet. And the idea is, you know, put it in the warm and it will just melt into it. And then after it's melted, I'm just going to leave it there to cool slightly before adding it to the cake. Great. Be fine. Let's leave it there. Right, this is a flourless chocolate cake, which I think is the best sort. And so what you have, also to give it heft and rise, is eggs. So I need 4 egg whites. I find it easier to whisk the whites first, simply because then I have everything ready. The whites are there, I just have to get on with the rest of the cake. Fold them in and we're off. Flourless cakes are also quite good because they're more convincing as puddings, I think, than an ordinary, you know, English flour cake. What I need to do is whisk these whites until they're sort of well and frothy, and then gradually add some glorious flakes. Right, I need 100 grams, it's about between 6 and 7 of these, just spoonful by spoonful. What I want is for the whites to be firm and glossy, but not stiff or dry. No, that's great. Oh, peace at last. And next comes this wonderful creamy sludge. Great! I've got the 4 yolks here, and so I'll just add blood. And 2 whole eggs. It's always something very satisfying about a recipe which uses a whole carton of eggs, I find. Now, flakes, 75 grams. And now, zest of an orange. I mean, you don't have to add this, it's just if you feel like it. Going further along the orange route, bit of liqueur. And again, I use this because I do always have a stash of this. Just pour in the mixture. Mix that in. And then the whites. Now, when you fold in whites, it's easiest always if you start off by giving a dolloped spoonful into the basic mixture and whisking really vigorously. If it's scared, just completely beat it in, because this will make the kind of base mixture much lighter and it'll make it much easier then to fold in the egg whites. Now we don't want that whisk. Okay, now you need to be a patient person for folding. I'm not particularly, but I think somehow it's always better not to be scared of egg whites. I know that the idea is you've got to be gentle and not get any air out, but if you're too scared, I think somehow it does sometimes permeate its way into the cooking. I think you just have to relax and it will go better. So look, I'm just folding in light, lifting it up so the air stays in, but you know, no need to exaggerate. All that remains to be done is to pour it into the tin. Don't grease the tin, completely dry, but just put some baking parchment at the base. Beautiful. And the thing about these flourless cakes, you know, which have whites as their raising agent, is that they rise really quite a lot. Leave yourself some in the bowl. Fabulous. Anyway, you've got to be baked. And this question of whipping up the milk. You don't want it to be very thick. It has to be thick enough to hold its shape, but still with a bit of soft flop about it. Into that, I'm running a bit, just meld together the sort of aromatic sludge. It's incredibly simple, you really do not much to it. And I'll just fold loosely. See, everything just hangs together in a kind of messy clump. And the thing about these flourless cakes is that they rise really quite a lot, quite radically on baking. And then as they cool, they sink damply in the middle. And that's what makes them so delicious. Wow, beautiful. I don't know what I'd call this really. I mean, I just think of it as a sort of aromatically filled mountain.